God's lawn. Let's go. We'll talk about this, man. With that being said, my name is Law Nation, LAW Nation. I know it's late, but I want to be able to put this out here real quick that we are right on page, right? We are right on pace for what the Dallas Cowboys do every offseason is to start to collect the drama. And that's just how it goes. But in reality, we just still got to take this thing one day at a time, one movement at a time. And everything else will be great. Everything else will be just that. I really appreciate you all. Just looking back at this team and looking where we were at last year and thinking about and pondering about how can we improve this team and how can we be better collectively speaking. We never thought that Dak Prescott would have the year that he had last year, right? But to most people, it's still not enough. So the narrative is that we must scrap everything that we accomplished last season, although it was 8-8, and move on and find another quarterback, which I can understand. I can understand from those who can look at it from those lenses. But I will say be careful what you wish for, because like I said earlier in my live stream earlier about how the whole thing played out with Kirk Cousins. You know, they were thinking that they can get a better quarterback, a more polished quarterback. And what happened is that they didn't do anything since they got rid of Kirk Cousins. And, of course, is he worth the money? I don't think none of the players are really worth the dime, you see, that they're asking for. But it's just how it goes, you see. Look, the reality of it, Cowboy Nation, is that a Lamborghini is really not worth it. You can still drive around with a Honda Accord and still get to A to Z. Believe it or not, both cars, you got to put gas in it or electricity, and you got to press the gas and you got to know how to drive. They can both take you there. So the other thing is a lot of people think that you need an elite quarterback in order to win the Super Bowl. No, not really. But I do know that everybody loved the shiny car. Everybody loved the Pat Mahomes of the world. But it's not a one-shoe-fit-all situation, you see. It's not. I wish it was. But if Pat Mahomes was on the Dallas Cowboys, the little small sector of games that we were able to see in the Super Bowl, the way he was throwing the ball, that could be Pat Mahomes that all we see for the Dallas Cowboys. We may not ever see the glow. We might not ever see the streaky Tyreek Hill. Because when you play with that silver and blue on, baby, it's the pressure is second to none. Think about this. Let this sink into your mental, Cowboy Nation. Think about this. Just wrap this around your head. The Dallas Cowboys didn't play in nobody's Super Bowl. They didn't play in nobody's playoff, but they had more topics, collectively speaking, from all of the four-letter networks about the Dallas Cowboys. They didn't talk about the Eagles. They didn't talk about the Washington Redskins. They didn't talk about the New York Giants. They didn't talk about Tupac and Biggie. They didn't talk about, you see what I'm saying? They had more topics about the Dallas Cowboys and what we're doing. We're sitting on our couch. We're watching greatness going on right now in the playoffs. So you're sitting there, we talking about the 90s. But everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, as it relates to that dollar per se, shout out to you, Jonathan Durbin, was talking about the Dallas Cowboys. They can't get the name out of their mouths. Shout out to my guy, Eastside Harold, for making a donation to help grow the nation. He says Dink and Dak says he's not showing up. Well, here's the thing. He made speculations that he's not going to show up. Dak Prescott don't have the longitude and the latitude to sit back and say, well, I'm going to sit back and not show up. He don't have that type of graces. He don't have those type of demands. Why? Why, Law? How did Dak Prescott get this job? Let the AI speak on it again.
Dinkendock says he not showing up.
Yeah. So with that being said, how did Dak Prescott get the position that in the first place? because Tony Romo folded up like a wallet, unfortunately. And then on top of that, your guy, Kelly Moore, his leg got snapped into multiple pieces. Jamil Showers, he got folded up and he kept throwing interceptions. Sanchez didn't pose nobody a threat. So we had all of those factors to come into place, and then Dak Prescott showed up, and he held the torch since then. So the best thing for Dak Prescott to do, because he's never been a great, dare I say, a practice player. People can say, oh, Law, you hate him, but no, I'm just telling the truth. Cooper Rush practiced better than Dak Prescott, even out there in Oxnard. It just, when preseason came, Cooper Rush, like, who is that? Is that Pooper Rush at this time? And remember, I was getting some of the same type of hate mail for Mike White. Everybody saying, look, Law, put Mike White out there. Mike who? People fail to realize that, you see. It's a different story when those lights turn on. But I want you guys to take a look up at A.J. Bush. He's nobody to sneeze at. I do know that he didn't play a lot in as it relates to college level. But he is a guy that we have to take a real good look at during the offseason. He's on his roster. Shout out to you guys, man. Natasha, really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to the nation. Benny Blaze, thank you as well. So my thing is, let's pump the brakes. We're just known for this, regardless of how you look at it. Always drama for your mama. There's always drama for your mama with the Dallas Cowboys. I think that Jerry Wayne Jones loves every piece of this drama. He do. He pulls up at the Super Bowl with the world's biggest yacht. I do know that the yacht don't have nothing to do with the aspect of a salary cap and these sorts of things. But you got $94 million in reserve. Don't you think that to swash all of this stuff out, that he can say, okay, Dak, what you want? Here's the check. He did it for Tony Romo. Oh, Law, you lied. You lying to kick it. No. Joe Flacco betted on himself. Joe, remember that? Won the Super Bowl. Of course, you can win the Super Bowl when you have Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and Ray Rice running the rock. But collectively, he said, okay, I'm going to go into this season blind. Went into the season blind with no contract on the line. Ultimately, to win the Super Bowl, for them to cut him a check for $52 million guaranteed. $100 million collectively spread over so many years. Then Jerry Wayne Jones said, you know what? I can raise you. I give my quarterback $55 million guaranteed. Over $108 million, whatever, collective over the amount of years. One went to the Super Bowl, one went 8-8, 8-8, 8-8. Who is deserving of that money? I know that we can point the fingers and have three pointing back at us, but the reality of it is that you can't be a little bit pregnant. I said it the other day. You can't be a little bit pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not. Natasha, you can say that, right? I'm going to just pick on you right quick since you're in the chat. You can't go to your guy and say, hey, I'm a little bit pregnant. I think I'm pregnant a little bit. No, either you're going to have a baby or you're not. Either you are in love with Dak Prescott or you're not. But to stretch this thing out for the clicks and for the media to always have sources being said, nobody gives the sources. If you want to sully the water, the best thing that I can do as an agent is say, hey, I'm going to hush my mouth on this. But if it's Jerry Wayne Jones, hey, let's leak out that this quarterback won $40 million. Boy, don't you think this guy crazy? He won 40? He won 45? He won 35, you see? The agent would never leak that stuff out. He got to talk to somebody. The agent would have no grace of no getting anything better of going to whoever. I'm not going to mention their name because people sensitive around his area. But the agent have no benefit of going to a said reporter saying, hey, we put $40 million on the line and Jerry Jones declined. It don't work that way. But if I want to sully the water, you see, I go tell, hey, this reporter, hey, they crazy, man. Dak Prescott campus talking about $40 million. That's just how it goes. Shout out to you, Locks, man. Really appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you for tuning in. Philippe, I'm speaking the truth, Locks. I have yet to find anybody who can speak otherwise. Look, the thing is with this Dallas Cowboys is they feed off of drama. That's just how it is. The Dez Bryant situation, stretching it out for many of years. Look, we hold on to our players for so long we get nothing in return. Name me the last person we wheeled and dealed and got multiple draft picks for. I'll wait. We hold on to people till they become statues. We pick up projects and don't do nothing with them. The Rico Suave project, he went from Zeus to being Suave to being Hey. I don't want to play no more. You say the guy that we scraped up from the practice squad, number 95, David Irvin, a project guy, didn't work out for us. It is what it is. But it just goes on and on. This same thing going over and over and over again, expecting different results, you know. It's crazy, man. Brother Chiefs had just as bad of a defense. The Eagles had the worst defense, laugh out loud. Playmakers are everything. Devin, what's good with you, man? Dak needs to take 35.5 a year. Cowboys need to come in with 6 or 7 years. Blase, 142 mil. 112 guaranteed. We don't know. We don't know. It's just two parts of every equation. But the thing is, especially in negotiating a contract, I can tell you that there's probably 10 or 11 other teams saying, give me that. Give me Dak Prescott Productions. We would try to see if we can have our coach to elevate everything else. You want a quarterback that can not do this right here, turn over the ball. You want a quarterback that can really throw the ball, of course, but you also want a quarterback that can manage the game. People think that managing the game is a horrible take. Trust me, I want people to pull this up. I guarantee you this, there are more game managers of the game of quarterback that won Super Bowls opposed to those who don't, you see. The game manager of the football win more Super Bowls than the gunslinger. I'm going to repeat. The game manager of the football win more games than those who are the gunslinger. I'm going to repeat. The game manager of the football won more Super Bowls than, dare I say, you see, the gunslinger. Law, do you have any truth on that? What is Tom Brady? You say, what is Ben Roethlisberger for his first 2 Super Bowls? Oh, what was Russell Wilson? People fail to realize everybody dog out Dak Prescott, but when you pull up the stats and you pull up everything from A to Z, you will see that the Legion of Booms, they gave you a half of a field. You say, there are more game managers winning the Super Bowl opposed to those gunslingers, opposed to those guys that get out there and throw the ball. Look, I kid you not, Jim Kelly, career, he been to what, 4 Super Bowls? And he's looking up to Troy Aikman. But Jim Kelly, collectively, if you look at his stats, blow Troy Aikman's records out of the wazoo, out of the water. But Troy Aikman managed the game better than a Jim Kelly, dare I say. Law, do you have facts and records on it? I want you guys to do some homework and look it up. Different type of offense, of course, but he still had Andre Reed. He had a running back, a dynamic running back at that. But people will look at only one side of the coin, you see. People will only look at one side. And Nick Foles was a great example of a game manager, you see. So, I mean, if you really want to think about it, you better try to find you a game manager. Matthew Stafford, man, he can ball, boy. He can throw the ball through a keyhole, strong arm. Shout out to Matthew Stafford. But his style of play and the team that he plays on, he always had talent, some shape or form of talent around him. So is Matt Ryan. It is what it is. Shout out to you, Chuck, man. Really appreciate you for tuning in. Locke says, give Dak 40 with the question mark. See, that's the thing. We would never know the honest answer that Dak Prescott camp actually said that he won 40. I haven't heard it from Dak Prescott's mouth. I haven't heard it from his agent's mouth. We heard it from sources says, and no confirming sources of the source that said it, you say. But people think we're foolish around here. But we will know more when the 25th of February come around, when they have to put the franchise stuff out there. Get it? We don't win it. Guess we don't win anything. This is from Mike P. Shout out to you, man. It is what it is, Cowboy Nation. Mock draft is right around the corner. Jonathan, what's good? He said Jerry Jones is in the way. Make Mike McCarthy do his thing with the team players. I think Mike McCarthy will do his thing. I think, Jonathan, that Mike McCarthy, he's a footballs guy. And everything that everybody loves about Andy Reid, and I'm not saying that he's the same type of people, but they cut from the same cloth, dare I say. Toby says, shout out to people that's on my Facebook, man. I really appreciate you all. Let's be honest. Tom Brady is a game manager. Take his checks down, took Gronk and Edelman, limits turnovers, and take his shots when they are available. I agree, Toby. And Melissa, she says 33 and no more. Yeah, I feel you what you're saying. All right, so my thing is with Tom Brady. We football purist people love the way he not only managed the game, but his leadership, his work ethics, the overall glowing. It's not that many people that have negative words of Tom Brady. He's always a people's person, but he means everything about business. And we can see that, and we can say to ourselves, yes. But on the flip side, you can say that, man, Bill Belichick, the craziest narrative, and I got to say this because I'm mentioning Bill Belichick, is that who win games over plus 500 teams. Now, not trying to say that there's no parity in the NFL, but let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not like that conference. It's not like the Miami Dolphins and the Bills was great for these past 20 years. No, they always had some type of craziness stuff going on. And the small spurts of moments when the Jets were okay, they gave the Patriots some fight. But we can look back at the NFC East and say we are the inverse. The media says, well, the NFC East is trash. This is a horrible division. But when you look at the NFC East, there's no other division that got more Super Bowls than the NFC East. There's no other division that plays each other as rough and rugged as we do. I think that if the NFL really think about it, we carry the NFL. The NFC East carry the entire NFL. I'm going to repeat, the NFC East carries the entire NFL as it relates to revenue, as it relates to marketing and money. Dallas Cowboys being the ringleader of them all, you see. But I can tell you, like week 1, 2020, the first week of the game, it will be probably the Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants. It will be the highest rated game for the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's what we do. See, it's all about the money, you see. Jerry Jones is making fat money off of this rating stuff. You say, hey, I tell you what, if people was born in the 80s, early 80s, and people were born in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 50s, not by chance, it could be quite possible that you are more of a Cowboys fan than I say of a Jerry Jones, believe it or not. He bought the team. That means he had to buy his way into falling in love with the team financially. He used his money. Whereas we grew up probably in the 70s, those who was in the 70s, in the early 80s, you naturally love the team, you see. So your heart is different than his, you see. But I will say that Jerry Jones is good for this organization. But he's a businessman first, you see. businessman first. Because when you look at it, and if it's his way or no way, that's just the reality of it. Oh, they can say, well, Law, you don't know it. No, there's no way that if you love this team, you can go 10.5 years with Jason Garrett. You can look up Wade Phillips and say, hey, I want him to also be the head coach. You see, you don't do those things. You see, you do it all out of nowhere. You try to figure out ways. You figure out ways to win regardless. You try to get the best. And I said this statement earlier, is that you want to know how people do what they want to do. People put their love and adulations towards the things that they love, right? So, case in point, when Jerry Jones built that $2.5 billion or $3.5 billion workout facility or stadium, what have you, and I hate to pick on the Joneses because I love them, but the reality, the truth got to be spoken. He didn't pick out no average construction worker. He didn't pick out any construction worker that was sitting there saying, hey, my resume is only one sentence long. No, he picked out the best because he wanted the best. Can you imagine out there in Vegas land? They trying to build that stadium out there and they say, hey, we want all first-time contractors to come out there. We want people who have 1 year on their resume belt. You see, it don't work that way. Let me know when I told a lie, and I'll try to correct myself. You see. Yes, indeed. Let me read some more of your comments, man. I really appreciate you all. Thank you guys for really being part of the nation, man, and thank those who support this thing. Let me see. NFC East is the division champions. The only NFL division that never played down to football in your life. Andre Davis, shout out to you, man. Repeat that question again. Not 100 on the Jacksons, but other on the 3, I would. Shout out to you, man. If Dak loses one piece of the offense, just one piece, he struggles. This is from Andre Davis. There's not enough historical data to prove that, you see. It's not enough historical data because we're talking about pretty much a twofold situation. You see, it'll be low-hanging fruit for me to just say and point the finger at only Jason Garrett. But to be honest with you all, I can say that I have a more of a longer record piece on Jason Garrett opposed to just Dak Prescott. Law, where you coming from? I've seen games where we were up 28-3. Against Matt Flynn. I looked up and now all of a sudden we holding the L. I've seen that happen multiple times. We were up 27-10 or something like that against, dare I say, a Detroit Lions. And all of a sudden I look up, we holding big L's, you see. Touchdown, pick 6 for my Barbie Carpenter. I've seen whereas we didn't take advantages of the situation. When and you get in at the end of the regulations as it relates to regular season games. And for 1 year, the Washington team beat us and they got in. The other year, the Eagles beat us and they got in. And the other year, the doggone freaking Giants got in consecutively. You see what I'm saying? And this is before Dak Prescott even thought that he would ever have a chance to play in the NFL. So I do know that causations doesn't imply correlation. Correlation doesn't imply causations. But I will say this, though. If we can correlate and we can say this right here, Cowboy Nation, and say to ourselves, man, there is a common denominator. This bad football play been happening before Dak Prescott introduced himself. I did see games last year where you had Ezekiel Elliott averaging 5 yards a carry. Then all of a sudden, they don't go back to what was making them get there, you see. I did see in a pinch where Ezekiel Elliott was getting 1.9 yards a carry. Then all of a sudden, hey, let's just give Ezekiel Elliott the rock. That's nothing to do with the quarterback play. Everything to do with coaching. Don't use those particular analytics. So it's just so many things. Shout out to you, Stello's 300. I'm saying like my granddaddy said, 300, not 300. 100 Cowboys. Too many times, man. Too many times, man. Let me read some more of your comments, man. I really appreciate you all for tuning in. Like I said, man, Murphy Law came into the mix, man. It was supposed to be me and Big Game James tonight. We was going to do the late night hype, but his computer had some issues, some technical difficulties. So that's why we need those donations to help grow the nation so we can bring out better shows and have better conversational piece back and forth. You know how this thing go, right? Yes, indeed. The defense, special team is why we went 8-8. This is from Devin Frost. I can't debate against that. I literally can't. I cannot debate against that. It is what it is, man, with that. Stand Alone Complex, man, thank you so much for the donation to help grow this thing. Let the AI speak.
With the big three holding out on contracts, does that create a mindset of holding out dollar? Is this the new culture of the Cowboys?
I'm glad you mentioned that to get me back on point with the drama. My thing is, my complete thing is with this, and I have to say this. You got to eliminate this drama situation. And you cannot allow your star players to be wondering whether or not you have full faith in them, you see. The thing is, the reason why people play better, the reason why people give that extra strength, you see what I'm saying, that extra feeling that they have a sense of belonging, is because somebody believe in you, believe it or not, you see. And by them playing this type of old wait and see, deadline makes deals, you don't get ahead. Look, I recall, and this is not me throwing salt and more salt at the Joneses, because like I said, I love Jerry, I love Stephen Jones, I love Charlotte Jones, I love Jerry Jr., I love all of them. You see, we love them collectively, but the way they operate at times, the mom and pop won't get you there. You see, here's the thing, and they're innovative. They do a lot of things, but the vacation situation, they literally said when Honey Badger was out there on the market, we don't need him. We good. He's tiny anyway. We don't need that type of player. We got our kind of guys. We got the right kind of guys here. You got to go over everything with a fine-tooth comb. You got to. All I seen is the Honey Badger make plays. I saw the kid get, 2 forced fumbles through the season, 4 interceptions. Man, if somebody can get 4 interceptions in one season on our team, we will make a statue in their name, you see, and we will probably put them right beside Star Mirror, you see. But we don't have guys. We didn't have guys that can take the ball away. Look, I kid you not. If that defense don't show up and show out, then guess what? For the Kansas City Chiefs, they don't win the Super Bowl. If Chris Jones don't create pressure, they don't win the Super Bowl. That's how pivotal the games is with the defense. Look, Chris Jones had to step up. The interior guy for the Kansas City Chiefs, he had to step up. The other guy, Frank Clark, he had to make plays. If he didn't make the sacks, or if he was not able to create pressure, if the guy that was not able to get the turnover and takeaway, the Kansas City Chiefs does not get the momentum, and they don't get the Super Bowl. Yes, Mahomes may still get his bag. He may still get his money, but they don't win the Super Bowl. Let that sink into your mental. You still got to have people to make plays, baby. You got to. For anybody that think that the Kansas City Chiefs would have won that game without turnovers and takeaways, I got some land on Florida for sale, you see. I got some high-priced real estate money for you guys, man. And I got some land on the moon for sale as well. It's a collective deal, Cowboy Nation. And you can't just put everything and think with your mind and say, okay, all we're going to do is go into this 2020 draft and find us a Pat Mahomes or find us a dare I say, a Deshaun Watson. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what everybody's saying, that he's such a great person. Toby says the Honey Badger is a Jimmy Johnson type of player. He just make plays. It's from Toby. Look, I kid you not, the defensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs said, hey, the Honey Badger came into this mix, and he said he changed the culture, you say. Cody, what's going on with you? Thank you for tuning in on the Facebook panel. Zeke got overpaid, great back, but too much money for him or any back. That was a bad deal for the boys. My thing is, Cody, that was Cody, right? Cody on the Facebook panel. My thing is, I think that the Cowboys didn't see that Ezekiel Elliott holding out. They didn't. They didn't see it because this is supposed to have been the year that Ezekiel Elliott said, you know what, I'm not playing. I'm going to hold out. But he started that thing 2 years too soon for the boys, the Cowboys, to make those type of adjustments. They're sitting there like, whoa. Wait a minute. What you mean? Because remember, Ezekiel Elliott just got into a tussle a little bit with one of the security guards, you see. So they didn't see this coming. You know, like my guy Kevin Hart, I wasn't ready. You see what I'm saying? They were not ready for that Ezekiel Elliott holdout. And it slapped them in the face. And trust me, Ezekiel Elliott, I knew for sure that the Joneses were not going to cut bait with him. Want to know how long? I'm going to speak to myself in third person. Because if you look up jersey sales, right, and you pull up top NFL jersey sales, and dare I say, you will flat out see Ezekiel Elliott number up there. I think he's like number 5 or number 6 collectively speaking. And then if you also pull up top 15 jersey sale, you'll see Dak Prescott. Look, they ain't in the business of making money, baby. They in that business of making that bread. You say they trying to get the Super Bowl to come back to Dallas in a few years. I think they're on the top running up to be back here in Dallas. We got a lot of things to work around, but that's just how it is, Cowboy Nation. So they wasn't ready for Ezekiel Elliott to hold out, and it kind of set the whole entire tone differently. That was the first blow for the rookies from the 2016 class, and of course you can say the 15 class as well. That they looking at it like, man, it's all good, you say. But I'm gonna tell a little secret to you all, and a lot of people will lie to kick it. But if you out there and you in training camp, you doing those 2 days, the sweat bubbling off your back, and you sitting back saying to yourself, it may be a guy to sit there and bust his chops off. I mean, Mike Weber and all of those other kids that was out there running running inside and outside, thinking they have an opportunity, thinking they have a chance, and they knowing for sure that this guy's on the other side somewhere doing his own thing. Don't you think that somewhere in their mind sitting there saying to themselves, yeah, it's a good opportunity, but man, I don't have a chance. I don't have an opportunity to really make this team because all they going to do is fold when this guy come back. There's some people that would think that way. There's some people that would say, yeah, I'm glad you got your money, but in return, they probably telling their mama and they pillow talking to their lady, man, this dude wasn't even out here sweating like I was. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But when the camera's on, oh, man, I'm glad he got his money, man. Praise God, man. Thank you, man. I'm next, man. You know. But at the end of the day, they looking at it like, man, come on, man. I can't put food on my table now because he came back. I wanted to show the world that I'm better. Yes, indeed. Paying Tony Romo all that money was a bad investment. Talking about bad ideas from Stellos 300, man. Really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. It is what it is. They people do what they want to do. People do what they want to do. At the end of the day, people will do what they want to do. Just put that into your mental. And like I said, you can't be a little bit pregnant. Either you're all in or you're not. Forever DC Law. If that get tagged, doesn't the full tag amount go towards the cap? It does. So if from my understanding, they got like variations of the tag. They got the transitional tag and they got the franchise tag, non-exclusive franchise tag. They got the franchise tag, whereas you can say, okay, I think this would be a non-inclusive, exclusive franchise tag, whereas you can't put up first round picks or what have you. You can't match it or what have you. I don't have the information all in front of me, but I do know that you can say, okay, with this is non-inclusive or all-inclusive franchise tag. It's one of the two, whereas you can say, well, I want 2 first-round draft picks for this person. And whatever the franchise tag, y'all can put it down in the comment box, man. But how that is broken down, 4 and 2 or what have you. But there's a franchise tag out there where you can say, okay, in order for you to make a move on this guy, you had to give us 2 first-round draft picks and also take over the contract for this person or sign whatever they want. But how the franchise tag work collectively, from what I know, is that as soon as they put you on the franchise tag, the $33 or the $34 million or whatever it may be, whatever the market rate, the market value of that tag is coming straight out of that cap. And my thing is, with $94 million, it's still enough money. It's still enough money to reach out and silence everything for you to go out there and pay a Dak Prescott. It's enough money for you to go out there and pay a dare I say, a Amari Cooper. But to stretch it out on the back end, the players may look at it and say, hey, they keep stretching it out. I don't know the full nature of it. The players can be saying, hey, stretch it out until this new collective bargain agreement come in. Oh, franchise tag me so that when the new CBA come in, maybe I can get more money or what have you and these sort of things. That could be the whole scenario. But 9 times out of 10, that's not the situation. 9 times out of 10. Jonathan, he says, but if Dak Prescott get franchise tag, he still can't leave, right or no? I mean, he can do a right to refusal to sign, and he can say, I'm holding out and I don't want to touch a franchise tag. But my thing is, let me see how long I've been live. I told y'all I don't want to be long on this thing. My thing is how this work is this right here. Let me see how I can put this in better terms. How can I put this in better terms? And I want to use like an analogy so that people can understand it better. The way I can put this is like this. When you franchise tag somebody, it's like you don't have the full faith and confidence in that person, and this can go so many ways left. Now I don't want to use that analogy. Dog, I don't want to use a dirty analogy. I want to keep it PG-13. I'm trying to keep it PG-13. It's like this, though, for people to use this situation. Staying along complex, man. Let the AI speak, man. Really appreciate it for the donation.
If we go to the 3/4 defenses, Tristan Hill a non-fit.
If we go to a 3-4 defense, Tristan Hill a non-fit. I don't know. He's still, 305, 310, close to that weight range. I don't know if he can play 2 gap. He's a 1 gap guy. Maybe he will be a specialist just in certain packages. They would just say, hey, shoot the gap or what have you. But I think that there will be some variations for it, for his skill set and his play. And think about this, too. Coach is coach. Coach is coach, and Mike Nolan already came out and said, I want my best 11 guys out there on the field. My best 11. I want my best 11 guys out there. So if he's not part of the best 11 club, then he's trade bait. That's just how it goes. But I think that coach is coach, and they're going to look at him. They're going to see his burst, his get off is there. He may not have the power per se, but his burst is there, and coach is coach. Coach is going to be able to elevate. That's what coaches do. Coaches don't sit there and say, okay, we just got to collect talent. And when it's time for adjustments, if we don't have the talent, we can't figure out a way to win. No, coach is coach. Look, as much as people can look at that game and say that Kyle Shanahan or what have you, lost the game or what have you, but he coached them boys on how to run that rock, you see. And those boys are running hard, whether it be scheme and schematics, but coach is coach. They figure out to put you in the best situation possible. That's why you saw Debo Samuels. He was able to catch those end rounds and those little, behind the LOS passes and still get upfield because he's a playmaker out in space. So let me give the guy an opportunity to make plays out in space. So that's how I look at it. But, my thing is with the franchise tag, what I wanted to say is like the franchise tag is pretty much like you meet this shorty, and you go on a date with her, you had a good time or what have you, and then, but you're looking at her cousin, you're like, well, you're cool and all, but I want the cousin, and you let it be known, and the cousin kind of like turn you down, so you back with her. It's one of those type of situations. That's what the franchise tag really is, I use the other analogy as payday loan, cash advance, what have you, because you're pretty much going into the situation, or a title loan or what have you, title loan places, whereas you go into the situation and you sitting there saying to yourself, I'm going to use this short time money to fix my issue or my need, but you don't get that money back in return because the premium is too high. You're paying too much for that money. Whereas when you signed him, that's why you can stretch it out. You can put $5 million, $17 million towards the cap and spread it out through the life of the contract. And now you still have enough money to go sign these other people around. But like people were saying, and like 105.3 The Fan, shout out to them, on the morning show, they came up with the analogy of saying, okay, go get the car brother, for cheap. And I don't think that would have been a great move, but that is what it is. They saying go get one of the car brothers from the Raiders team, whatever that David or Derek, whatever his name is, go get him and Locke said, you wanted the cousin. Yeah, you've been in that situation before. You know what I'm saying? You dated the girl, you're like, man, the cousin fine, though, man. The cousin fine. But, man, why I'm dating her, though, man? Dog. And then you start dating, you're trying to go date the cousin shoot you down, and you be like, hey, what's up, though, Hey, you know what I'm saying? You been like that before, right, Cowboy Nation? You try to court the lady, try to buy the drink in the club, and the wrong one kind of lean on you, but you trying to get the other one. But the other one is like, you try to holler at my cousin, that type of stuff. And you're like, dog. But I want you, though. I ain't want the cousin. Yes. Davis, he know it. He been to that situation before. Trying to be cool. See, Davis, Andre Davis, you been in that situation before, right? It was three ladies. They all came to the club together. It was one that you really had your eye on. Oh my goodness! But the one that you really didn't like, she the one is all up under you. You say, oh my goodness, boy! And Natasha said, not the cousin. Then you try to be mean to her. You know what I'm saying? You try to be upset at her. Then she like you even more. She like you even more. You be like, God dog, I didn't even hold the door for her. I even kind of cussed. I've been rude. And it just seemed like, remember the cartoon, the Pepe Le Pew, She just all on me like a cheap suit. And I want the cousin, though. I want that cousin, you see. Oh, my goodness. I mean, then you fool around and date her. You be on a date with her. And then you sit there and say, when your cousin coming back in town? Auntie Shirley got some spaghetti, man. I just want to make her a plate right quick. Oh, my goodness, man. I swing the show around the wrong way. But you guys know what I'm saying. That's what the franchise tag does, Jerry Jones is sitting there looking at them cousins over there. And Dak Prescott said, okay. For 4 years, I've been busting my chops out here, man. I've been trying to learn how to play football better, man. I stepped up through my throws. I'm going through my anticipations better. Look, they said I couldn't throw 30 touchdowns in the season. I did that. They said I couldn't pass more than 8 yards, and I did that. You see, now they said that I got to put the team on my back. Look, I'm only making $4 million. I just saw Jared Goff over there. His first 4 years, he made $29 million. How many times $4 million can go into $29 million? I just saw Carson Wentz, who never even won a playoff game, and my stats are similar, or even, dare I say, better. And this guy got $33 million, over $108 million guaranteed. And the owner of my team, they talking about, hey, Dak, don't worry about it. We gonna take good care of you. I'm sitting out here playing with a broken shoulder almost. Look, they forgot about the first time we played the Eagles and I beat them down. But I come out here with a broke bum shoulder. The Eagles win with a pair of, dare I say, the Walmart All-Stars. And all of a sudden, that's the end-all be-all to my contract. Because I didn't win that game to get us in the playoff. Man, I don't get a chance to see this $140 million collective contract, whatever it was or whatever it may be. But it is what it is, man. Andre says our fan base are delusional. It is what it is, man. It's our fan base. How much do you think Patrick Mahomes would get to I guess reset the market, Jonathan? Here's the thing. And I love market talk. I love market talk. Market analysis and things like that. My thing is the market always reset itself. There's always somebody that's going to sign that big deal, and people are going to be looking at it like, no way. Think about it. Is it David or Derek? I keep messing the man's name up. But when the Carr signed his $25 million contract, people were like, man, wow, this kid got that paper. And remember, he was in the race for MVP that year. Of course, they folded up a little bit when he got down to the playoff time. But he got that $25 million. So they were sitting back like, man, who's going to be the next person to shatter that thing, you see? And I think, and I could be off, man, I think that Stafford got a $28 million, $27 million or something like that. And people are like, wow, okay, that's Stafford. Who else going to shatter that thing? Who else going to shoot high for it? Then your boy Aaron, Dirty Man, Diva Rogers signed a $33 million contract. People thought that they lost their mind. It was like, 33? They paying quarterbacks 33? And a lot of people were looking at that like, man, no other quarterback is going to get that type of paper. And then, of course, you had in between that, you had the Jimmy Garoppolo, who only played like 5 games, and they signed him to $28 million. And then you had, I think, Kirk Cousins, the Washington team, tried to be cute and said, you know what, we're gonna franchise tag you. We really don't believe in you, man. Kirk Cousins was like, Kirk Cousins finally won a game. You like that? But remember, he couldn't beat the Cowboys, so he kept getting beat out. I think Byron Jones caught his first interception, a pick 6 against Kirk Cousins, you say. But, the Washington team thought they was wise and doing the right thing. Let me know what the Washington team did since they got rid of Kirk Cousins. I'm still waiting on that answer. But the market always reset. Remember, 33 was far, far away from 25. So I'm thinking that maybe 44, maybe that is what Pat Mahomes would sign, a 44 or $40 million contract. But it is what it is, you know. Law, if the Miami offered the Cowboys the number 5th pick and the 26th pick for the Dak, would you take it? And this is from Toby. Let me ask everybody in the chat box, man, would you take the 5th pick, and also would you take the 26th pick? Because what you would do in that situation is, a lot of people fail to realize this. Boy, I didn't know I was going to be talking this long, man. I apologize, man. I said I wasn't going to be this long. I might as well squeeze it to a whole hour. But a lot of people would think that and say, okay, yeah, I can get the 5th pick, I can get Tua, or I can get Justin Herbert, and I can get maybe if the Cincinnati people are crazy and they passed up on Joe Burrows and maybe get Jedrick Willis or something. Maybe they do something crazy, get a Chase Young or what have you. Maybe they do something crazy, we can get a Joe Burrow. It won't happen. On top of that, as much as we love Pat Mahomes, this is his 3rd year, right? So collectively speaking, you have to go through some type of growing pains. And you look at Ezekiel Elliott 3 years from now, that contract, 3 years from now, DeMarcus Lawrence contract, So you got pretty much a window, dare I say. And Chris Blunt says, I would take that in a heartbeat. That means you'd be willing to rebuild. I don't see a rookie quarterback going into this system winning the Super Bowl. I don't think that a second-year quarterback going into this system with the light and the atmosphere of the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl. And on top of that, think about this, and I have to just put people on this real quick. Shout out to you, Melissa. Really appreciate you. My thing is, when we look at this, the comparison analysis, you see, Pat Mahomes, as much as we love him, he's not being paraded and badgered all throughout the media every day. First take, second take, third take, Undisputed Cowboys, Tupac, Biggie coming out of the grave talking about, hey, can Pat Mahomes live up to the likings of, dare I say, a Troy Aikman? Can he outperform Roger Staubach on this particular day? Can he outperform Tony Romo? Can he do this? Can he do that? Oh, he missed his pass. He's not being asked to do multiple interviews and do multiple, hey, can you come down here and can you shake the hands? Can you go to the Children's Hospital in North Texas? Oh, matter of fact, can you leave there and can you sign his autograph? Can we fly you out to Oxnard, for crying out loud? Oh, when you finish Oxnard, can you go to Hawaii, you see, to sign this deal and to do this? He's not being stretched about, you see, and talked about and put on the major highest spotlights each and every day. I'm not saying that Pat Mahomes can't do it or no other quarterback can't do it opposed to a Dak Prescott. But what I'm saying is that you got to factor all of that stuff in there. You do. Cowboys, we are paraded around like no other. We are always compared to like no other. And then on top of that, people are going to say, well, that rookie that come into the system, here's year one, people are still going to pull up those Dak Prescott rookie year numbers and say, hey, he didn't do this. Man, he passed more than 4 interceptions. Oh, he didn't get 22 touchdowns. We will always use that comparison, and nobody does it better or more than the Dallas Cowboys. That's just how it goes, man. Can Burrows be better than they? This is from Devin Frost. Can Burrows be better than Dak day one? I doubt it. He probably makes some splash plays. He probably can go out there and be like, man, that's nice. You see. That's nice. And I use this too. I'll tell a lot of people about Lamar Jackson. Everybody like, oh, Lamar Jackson is fantastic. He's doing all of these wonderful things. Oh, this guy's next level good. For the Dallas Cowboys, he'll be, hey, during the time, we want to keep you in that pocket, bro. We don't want you to scramble out. We want to know, can you win the game in the pocket? We want to know, can you take the ball under center? You see, no. All that running stuff. No, we don't want that. Can you slide good? You see. Make sure you pass the ball to this particular guy. No. Don't continue to use two tight end set. Oh, Jason Witten. Oh, can you give Jason Witten the wide option route? No, don't worry about Blake Jarwin. No. This play, he's gonna run a 5 dig. He's gonna run a stick route, come back, turn to the ball. That's your option, Jason Witten. I'm not trying to hate on my beloved Cowboys, but we got to sell those Jason Witten jerseys, you see. We got to get this touchdown in for Jason, you see. It is what it is. Jason Witten came in. Look, Jason Witten, the funniest thing of it all, and we all love Jason, man. We do. But when he came in and said, hey, I'm going to do whatever I'm going to do whatever we need to do to win the game. I don't need to see on my chest. I will fall back and I'll do limited snaps. Boy, Jason Witten came out there and had every snap known to man. Look, get off the field with, no, not right now. I'm trying to catch this ball. I'm trying to get this touchdown, man. Hey, I thought you said you're going to take limited snaps. Who, you, Jarwin? Don't you know who I am? You better look my name up in Wikipedia. Shout out to Jason Witten, man. We love him, man. All right, Cowboy Nation. I done talked enough, man. I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Our Hot Boys were Ice Cube all season. This is from Viral. Hey, don't forget to put down where you guys are from. I love seeing that. I love hearing that. Appreciate you, man. He said, Law got the new fresh cut. This is from Ron, man. Really appreciate you, man. Shout out to E out there in Cedar Hill in the DeSoto area. I mean, the guy can cut really good, man. He the best barber in Dallas, in my opinion. Chris Blunt, he said from Washington, D.C. Shout out to you. Toby, that was on Garrett, not Witten. Yeah. He said it was on Garrett. But shout out to Arlington. Shout out to you, man. Amarillo. Shout out to you, Aaron. Shout out to Orlando. And trust me, I would like for Jason Witten to land on his feet to be a coach. If he want to come back to still play this game, I would like for Mike McCarthy to look him in the eyes and say, hey, you know, right now we need to evaluate Schultz and Jarwin, and they got to pay Jarwin, actually, right? They got to give him some type of contract. Shout out to Memphis, Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. Shout out to you all that's there. It is what it is, Cowboy Nation. That's all the time that I have for this beautiful moment. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend, let that neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and Beyond. Let me see if I can find some outro music and get on out of here. Oh. Look for the mock draft to be out maybe early this morning or sometime tomorrow. Let's go. Hit that like button. Yo, cousin. Tell her come over. We out, baby. Yeah, y'all know what it is, baby. One way or another, that's all the time that we have for this moment. Hit that like button, share this content, and remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Yes. Tell that cousin, what's up? We out. Peace. No party like a cowboy party, 'cause a cowboy party don't